Hey guys, after playing with my mouse a lot, it seems to be really hypersensitive because in my ear I can hear just even the slightest little things. It's really jarring. The tiniest things that I can hear. Like I put this on a cup, I can hear it in my ear, so you can probably hear it too. And it jars me because I've haven't experienced that in the entire time that I've been doing this, so I don't know if my mic is too loud or not. But yeah, so daily update. When I get up in the morning, I have all these plans the night before of stuff that I want to do. I'm like, I'm going to get up early, I'm going to crawl right out of bed the moment I wake up, and I'm going to do yoga, I'm going to cook myself breakfast, I'm going to do all these little things. But then when I finally do wake up in the morning, I find myself unable to push my body to the point where I'm actually getting out of bed. A lot of you can probably relate to this. I don't know what it is that my mind tells my body to move, and my body's just like, I'm not gonna. No, I want to stay here. This bed is nice and warm. I'm going to absolutely ignore every attempt you make to move towards getting out of this bed. If you want to move to just roll over, fine, you can do that. I'm down with that. But if you're attempting to get out of bed, I'm not doing it. So you gotta trick your body. You gotta be sneaky and not let your body know what you're up to. You gotta shift slowly towards the edge of the bed. Just shift until you fall out of bed, and then you have instant cold and you automatically are like, okay, I'm up. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow. I should have thought of that this morning. I just thought of that now. I'll try it. Being sneaky, tricking my body into letting me out of bed at the times that I intend to. It's so difficult to get past that initial, I don't want to get out from under these covers feeling. But I eventually did get out of bed after hitting the snooze button 5 times. It's really pathetic, but that's my life. That seems to be the sum of every single morning so far. I didn't get anything I wanted done, but I managed to get to work on time. That's the summation that happens every single morning, it seems. But one of these days, I'm going to stick to the routine that I chose. At work today, I found out about a new, magical, mysterious, secret chemical that they've been hiding from me. And so there was some sort of a paste, like a glue, a residue, stuck to the sink of this trailer that I was cleaning. It was yellowish. I automatically assumed that it was some sort of plumbing cement type of sealant thing. So, since all the chemicals we had in the cleaning bay weren't working, I decided to go to the guy who works there, who I know has done plumbing. I remember hearing him a couple days ago say, I'm going to go do some plumbing. That stuff makes sense to me. And so I went right to him, and then he came, had a look at it, and he's like, oh, great, I don't like this stuff. And he went off, and he brought back some clear liquid in a little mysterious container. And he just went to work, and right away it was gone, and then he took off before he could explain to me what he did. Normally they explain to me what they've done so that I can do it in the future without having to bother them. But this time he didn't, and I was confused. Why didn't he tell me? And so I just continued cleaning, and on a sink on the outside, there's an outside kitchen on this trailer. And on that sink, I found the same stuff. So I went over, found him again. I'm like, what stuff did you use to get that stuff off? So I found more of it. I need to use it. And he's like, oh, it's a secret. And he just went back to work on this electrical stuff. I'm like, well, are you not going to tell me then? And eventually he fessed up. He said it was called gun cleaner. And he explained it, that there is a paint thinner and there's gun cleaner. And paint thinner, obviously, as the name implies, it thins paint. The gun cleaner dissolves paint. It's for cleaning out the paint guns. And he eventually showed me this big bucket that they had hidden in a back cabinet thing. And he said, be very careful with it. Like, if you drop that stuff on linoleum, the linoleum will practically disappear. Apparently that's how powerful this stuff is. He didn't tell me how fast it would happen, but I assume it would be instantaneously or near instantaneously. And so he entrusted me with that little mysterious container that he had. And he said, be very careful with it. And so I went to go clean up the mess, and beautifully, it just like instantly came off. It's like, wow, this stuff is amazing. And then I brought it back, put it away, and I was doing some more cleaning, and eventually I got to another part of the trailer that had similarly colored stuff, but I didn't know it was similarly colored at the time. It was covered in paint. It's like the factory had tried to hide that there was something there, and the paint came off while I was trying to clean it off, and then I noticed it looked similar to the stuff from before, so I went to go get that stuff to try to get it off. And when the guy who showed me this stuff, he saw me reaching for this stuff again, he's like, oh no, as if to say, I've created a monster. He's never going to stop using this stuff. He's going to try to use it for everything and destroy everything in his path. I picked up on that. I was like, okay, how do I reassure him that I'm not going to go crazy with this stuff all the time? It's emergencies only. Whatever. Just put it out of my mind. Just do this stuff and get it over with. And my boss, everybody started bringing it up after that. And then I was talking to my boss about it later on. And he was talking about how pretty much the only stuff that it won't dissolve completely is, funnily, that's a funny word, but funny enough, the only thing that it doesn't clean very well is dirt. Pretty much anything natural, that stuff won't touch, but anything synthetic just disappears on contact. Anyway, the main part I wanted to share with you guys was just my friend's reaction when he saw me grabbing the stuff again. Was just like, oh no. I think he really regretted telling me about that. It seemed like it was a well-guarded secret, and he just felt terrible for divulging it. The other thing, I'm going to kind of set the scene. My boss's dad, they give him a rough time around there because he irritates a lot of the staff, and he knows it. And so they nitpick at each other all the time. And so that's setting the scene for a story later. And so setting the scene for my mentality for the coming story, another friend of mine who's my boss's uncle, so my boss's dad's brother, he came up to me and he's like, that's it, you're never going to see me again, I'm out of here. I got fired at last. I pushed it too far. And he reached out his hand to say goodbye, and I'm like, are you serious right now? I was really confused. Like, I know he's a joker and stuff, so at first I thought he was just joking, and then when he reached out his hand, I reached a point where I wasn't quite sure anymore. Are you joking? And he walked off. And then as he's like halfway across the building, he's like, just kidding. Just like, what? So it's not forever. And then, so that's setting up the mentality that I was dealing with for this next situation. My boss's dad came up to me, and he's talking about how he's leaving, and he just wanted to say goodbye and stuff, and that he would be away. And my first reaction is to say, so you're leaving forever? And right away, like, he just kind of wanted to like push me against the wall and punch me out and stuff, and everybody else is laughing. So I didn't get the joke at first. I didn't intend it to be a joke. This tends to happen to me a lot. I'll say things just top of my head, my first reaction, I don't mean anything by it, and then everybody just assumes that this is just a really witty joke and assumes I'm a lot funnier than I actually mean to be. And my boss's dad, he goes into the office, he's like, okay, I'm leaving now, goodbye everybody. Don't be like him over here. When I said I was leaving, he asked me if I was leaving forever. Like, that's it, you're out of here? I don't know, probably doesn't sound as funny when I'm describing it, but everybody got a huge kick out of the fact that I was implying that I hoped he was gone for good, that I wouldn't have to deal with him ever again. That's kind of the impression that everybody else kind of had. They didn't want to say it type of thing. So that worked out kind of to my favor. Everybody thinks I'm great now, and I have no idea what even inspired me to word it that way. Story of my life. Accidental comedy. Yay! So that was pretty much everything I planned to talk to you guys about, and then a little bonus bit at the beginning. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I had fun describing all this, listening to it in my ear. I sound really loud to myself. It's crazy. But hopefully the sound quality of this video is a lot better than the last ones have been. It's been really sketchy as of late. Sorry. It's been a bumpy ride, and I'm hoping to get over this hurdle ASAP. And thank you guys for joining me along the way and having the patience to deal with these technical difficulties. I'm really hoping we're past the majority of that. We just need better camera, better microphone system, and we'll be gung-ho. So, have you guys a great morning, afternoon, and good night. Thanks for tuning in.